Welcome back to the Pot of Greed.
Welcome back indeed, guys. It's another week, another Thursday.
Wednesday for us.
And that means that we get to be the one and only stop that you could ever possibly have on the internet for news around card games.
Or much of anything else, except politics. Only we don't do that.
No,
well, Paul does
politics
that. I don't
allowed.
Do that,
Period. This week's going to be a pretty interesting one because we have a little bit of Yu-Gi-Oh! There's been a lot of gaming news that's happening because of Gamescom and like Pokemon and just all sorts of things. So yeah, it's going to be cool. And I just wanted to announce right off the bat that next week we're going to do an Emptying the Pot episode.
Because these questions, man, building up.
Yeah, the questions have been piling up, the ones from you guys, and they're really good. And it's sometimes really tough to pick like just what questions to answer. So I figure a week where we can, just sit down and tear through a lot of them would probably be good.
We'll probably have to start doing these more regularly just to keep emptying out the pod over and over and over again. Maybe we do it just like for every pod for a straight month.
Yeah, that could be a thing, although there's a lot of questions. Jesus. Anyway, okay, so there's Yu-Gi-Oh! News to talk about. But before we get into that, make sure that you
put your ones up
if you're in the live premiere. And
Premiere gang, rise up.
Make sure that you thumbs up the video, maybe leave a comment. Sharing it would even be greater. All right, Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff has happened this week. Would you believe that if I told you?
I could believe anything.
Yeah. Before we actually get into that, I wanted to talk about my own personal Yu-Gi-Oh! Thing, which is I went to another regional this past weekend. Yeah, I attended the Louisville, Kentucky regional. It was at a store.
Paul was a Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, that's right. I was. It was a store called Through the Decades, which is apparently, I've been told, the largest card game store in the United States. So that's really cool. It was huge.
All right, but who's going to check them on that?
Yeah, I guess that's true. Like, someone just go around and compare and measure.
Does he get the squares, the square footage of every single card shop in America?
Apparently, it was made from a Home Depot, like the same venue.
Oh, that would make it pretty large.
Converted it into a card shop. Yeah, really cool store. It was my second regional in a row, and I was playing Vanquisol again. And this time, I was
K9.
No, actually, no K9s. But this time, I was able to get top 32 at this event and get my invite.
Hey, Paul's going to Worlds. Paul's going to Worlds.
I wish. If that's like all it took, is get a top 32 and just get flown out to Paris.
I mean, next is Nats. Then when you top that, then you go to Worlds.
So it's been fun. This is just I'm keeping the people abreast of my just ventures to regionals and back into Paper Yu-Gi-Oh! People were very friendly. I met a lot of really nice folks. Some of whom were like, I watched your videos when I was a kid. And that's always weird to hear because it's like, dang.
I grew up off you.
People say that, like, unironically.
You were part of my awakening.
Maybe not that. So,
They're Yu-Gi-Oh! Awakening, Paul.
Yeah, that's right. It was cool to hear that, like, some of our videos were why people got back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, some years ago. That's kind of cool, too.
Well, we've been doing this for a long time. Statistically speaking, somebody had to get back into Yu-Gi-Oh! Watching one of our videos.
That is true.
We had to sell somebody down the wrong path.
Yeah, I was able to go 5 and 2 and 1, and that was good enough to get.
Wait, you lost games?
Yeah.
You should go ahead and give that invite back.
Yeah, I'll hand it back to them. Someone else can take it. Back in the day, actually, invites would roll down. Like, if people already have them. I think they cut that out years ago, but I remember, like, the invites would, like, roll down to people. So it was, like, pretty easy to get them back then. But this is cool. This is not by any means my first regional invite that I've ever gotten, but I think that it was a fun one to get in this new post-COVID era of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because the last time that I got an invite was, like, in 2019 or something, 2020.
The world's changed since then.
Quite literally has. So, yeah, that was nice. It was fun. Shout out to the people that I met. Just wanted to update everybody on that.
So, quick question.
Yeah.
What was it about this group of opponents that made them easier to beat than the last one?
I mean, easier, I don't know if that's the case.
Like if you had to, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much weaker were they than the last regional?
That's bait. Okay, that's bait. The point is, I was able to win. Shout out to all of my opponents. They were very kind and respectful, and it was a good time. Okay, now we can actually talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff that happened. Because there was some Yu-Gi-Oh! Stuff that happened. YCS Vancouver was this past weekend.
I did not know.
I didn't really either until like a couple days before. because this event was not talked about a bunch by Konami, and there was not a live stream. It was held obviously in Vancouver in Canada, but apparently like their transportation there was kind of difficult for people. Like I don't know exactly what it was that they were saying, but like the trains were not working. Like I don't know. If you live in Canada, I guess you'll know.
I wonder if it had anything to do with that. I remember there was an airline worker strike for like.
Yeah, it was, and people's flights got canceled. People's flights. Yeah, I read that. That might be what it was.
Could be.
Also, the event was not streamed,
which is so weird. This trend that's been going on for the last, I don't want to say 3 years now, where very streamable events are just not being streamed, and for seemingly no reason.
So the reason that I've been told why these events don't get streamed in Canada anyway is because it's apparently more expensive to do it there, and also if you put on an event like a stream or whatever in Canada, and someone can correct me with the actual proper details, it's just my like baseline ignorant opinion I read from something online, you have to pay back like part of the amount that you make to supporting like the country of Canada or something like that.
So they tax it.
Yeah, so it's basically like a type of taxation of some sort.
Streamer tax.
Yeah, I don't know the specifics. Like I said, that's just
weird,
the baseline.
There's a lot of Canadian streamers running around. I'm surprised.
Yeah, I don't know if it applies to them. I think it's kind of more for just if you have like a corporate thing, like a venue. Anyway, the winner of this event was Steven Trifanowski. Trifanowski? I actually don't know how to say his last name.
Couldn't tell you. Call him Triff.
Yeah, it's Triff. He won. He won with Yummy. Shout-outs to him. Very, very talented player. This is his second YCS win, if I'm remembering correctly. I think he won one towards the end of last year. And, I think he won with Yummy, but within the top 32, there were actually only 7 Yummy decks, 12 Vanquish Soul decks, like Vanquish Soul K9, and then a mixture of other things like Crystron K9, some Draco Tails, Mitsurugi Malice, White Forest. So I was surprised to see that White Forest was able to still sneak in. I know it kind of...
I mean, White Forest isn't weak. It's just not well positioned in the current metagame.
Yeah, so that happened. It was cool. I think for a lot of people, this event, like for you, just went under their radar.
I mean, I straight up just didn't know what was happening. But that's one of my criticisms of Konami in the post-COVID years. It feels like Yu-Gi-Oh! Should be bigger than ever, and every event. I feel like every event should have more coverage than ever, but
some just randomly get none.
Yeah, now it just feels like more events are getting way less coverage.
What I've basically chalked it up to is the North America, like the events that happen in America, have actually been getting better coverage. They've been improving, with the commentary staff. They've been having a little bit more fun with the hosting. They've got like Stephen Kangas and Jackie Jing, and like they do a wonderful job. But anything that's not in America, like if it's in South America, no stream. If it's in Canada, no stream.
When did Bandit Keith start running Konami?
Yeah. And, like I know that in those countries it's just different, but I think that for people like that Latin American Yu-Gi-Oh scene, for instance, they would probably really appreciate the coverage because like those scenes oftentimes kind of get shafted a little. So, yeah, a little unfortunate.
Come on, at least these are YCSs.
Yeah.
Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series. I feel like they should be treated as such, but
I mean, once you hear about the other event that was happening this past weekend, it all kind of comes into perspective. But one last thing about this YCS was that it was the debut of that prize card that we looked at last week. So Triff was the first person to win.
Oh, he got the one that says it's the first.
Yeah, another verse Stratios is his, and I saw he was like trying to sell it or something on Twitter, like it and the trophy. Because that's about the only way you're gonna get any money recompense for these events. So.
I mean, there's always some collector out there willing to like shell out the money.
Yeah. In other news, there's not loads of it. We've gotten a few more cards from that next deck builder set. Like there's a Phantom Revenge. We've also gotten the reveals of a few more cards from the tins that are coming up. It's just more like Starlight reprints and stuff like that. We got a look at Magical Musketeer Calamity in her uncensored form for the next Lost Art promotion. So if you...
So are we just getting Thigh now?
I don't know what actually changed, but I mean, I'm sure her weapon obviously changed.
Okay, yeah, we're getting thigh and then like the slightest bit of cleavage.
Yeah, and I think that the actual weapon she had probably was like a...
Yeah, all the Musketeers' guns got changed.
Some laser gun is now actually the proper one.
Even though it still kind of looks like a laser gun. Like,
that might have just been part of the original design. I'm not really sure.
But I always forget that the Lost Art promotion is happening. So many shops forget to give you your Lost Art promos.
Yeah, a lot of OTS shops will get them and just not give them out. And I don't actually think it's like in a malicious way.
Because they don't sell for a whole lot. I don't think it's a malicious thing
at all. In my experience, it's like literally the shop owners are just like, what? Oh, that's that thing they sent us 4 months ago that I've been like
those
keeping
envelopes. I forgot
under the counter that. Or whatever.
You know, that does remind me. I kind of wanted to get back into playing muskets again.
They actually are pretty cool. They have a link monster that helps a lot.
They swelled up with with the rise of the Fiend like package and formatting, but
yeah, Fiendsmith is...
Now that Fiendsmith has kind of fallen off again, it makes me curious about running some Fiendsmith decks again.
Another cool thing from the 10 reveals is that we got another new world premiere card. You know, last week was the
Blaze Queen something or another.
Yeah, so this week it's Bot Herder.
Say it again?
Bot Herder, Herder.
Okay.
So it's this new spell card, and it basically kind of seems like what most people are calling Mimighoul support. It's for any card your opponent has that's either face down or a card that is owned by you, and you you get to look at it and do something. I only read the effect once because it literally got revealed while I was at that regional because they've been revealing these on Saturdays. So both the last two card reveals have happened like as I'm like playing my rounds. And yeah, it's kind of cool. It's like a neat little spell.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
200 damage and take control of all monsters your opponent controls.
Yeah, it's kind of brutal. It could be really useful counterplay if I guess like a Vanquish Soul Holly Sue had maybe taken your monster with its effect. If you'd given your monster your opponent a kaiju.
Yeah, that's probably the
play this.
Easy, most splashable way to do it. Though I don't know if you would want to force that unless your deck strategy is to put things on your opponent's board.
Right.
It's not really something that I think you could side as like a set of 3. You have to side it along with kaijus and along with other things. Santa Claus. No one runs Santa. Well, some people run Santa Claus. I've seen
just stuff like that. Lava Golem, Sphere Mode. Yeah, there's a few cards. So yeah, those are kind of just like your little updates here and there. An interesting one too was that we finally got a look at the jackets and shirt that you can get with the Red Eye, or not the Red Eyes, but like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Nike collab.
Oh, I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, so basically Nike's got a shirt and also a varsity jacket.
Can I scroll or is this a...
Yeah, that's just it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, there's the jacket. I do see it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I think it's pretty cool.
Very simple, solid design. That's going to be expensive.
It's got like, these patches sort of on it. And I think the back also just has kind of a similar design to this.
I've always had a thing about varsity.
I guess sorry, you could scroll. There's more pictures. There's a black shirt. I guess a white shirt.
I like the black. Or is that navy? Are you sure that's black?
I think this shirt's black.
Yeah, I think it's black. I get the black one. It's the black dragon, so yeah, I get the black shirt. But I've always had a thing about varsity jackets. Mm-hmm. I don't actually understand the appeal of them, to be honest.
I mean, they certainly... So I'm no fashionista. I can't really speak to exactly what the appeal is. But I think that it's kind of at this point, I feel like it's just, there's like a retro look to it. Where, like, if you were to be wearing this and these Air Max 95s, it would almost feel like you just walked right out of, like, the 90s. And just sort of, there's like a bit of a high school aesthetic to that, right? Like varsity jackets.
Yeah, but I'm 33.
Yeah,
right? Am I 33?
I don't think so. Either way, the point is you get to feel like, if you peaked in high school, you get to like go back to high school.
How old are you?
You're 32.
Am I 32?
Yeah, you're 32.
Oh, okay. I've been aging myself up.
Oh my God. Just walking yourself out of opportunities. But yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, I think like that's kind of it. Like, if you peaked in high school, you get to go back to high school.
I don't know, because I still have my old varsity letter. And you
ever want to slip it back on and kind of be in the...
And that's the thing.
The high school days.
After 4 painful years of getting crushed on the football field, I never want to wear that thing. So I can't make sense of like buying like a quote unquote fake one. The design doesn't appeal to me, I guess.
One other neat new thing too is that the Wings Wins of Victory card, they show this close-up video and you can see it has the Nike swoosh as an emblem on the card.
Oh, I need to hold that.
Kind of like where like Speed Duel or QCR or something would normally be.
Man, that's fire. I need that. You know, I still have my Adidas and my Adidas Dark Magician.
Yeah, same. So in order to... Well, actually, wait, no. I don't... I've got different ones than you.
No.
Because you got the Adidas stuff and you also got the Raw shoes too, didn't you?
Raw shoes? What's a Raw shoe?
Oh, I thought you... No, that was Dark Magician. I don't know why I thought it was Raw.
You mean the Raw shoe? That's on the Shop Yu-Gi-Oh shoe, right?
Maybe. I don't... There's so many things I forget.
Yeah, I remember we used to complain about how Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't license at all, and there's no Yu-Gi-Oh merch. There's no Yu-Gi-Oh merch. Yeah, and now we're getting confused of which Yu-Gi-Oh merch.
These sneakers are going to be on the Sneakers app on September 12th.
Locked in.
So make sure that you are there and waiting because they'll probably sell out immediately, and it's probably going to be some lottery type of system.
I have 7 people on deck ready. They don't even know what Yu-Gi-Oh is, but I know that they're used to doing these sneaker drops. They're ready to go September 12th.
So the next thing is actually not a Yu-Gi-Oh story, but it's one that I wanted your opinion on. Well, it is a story. It's a thing that happened. So have you ever played a gacha game?
Yes.
And had, has there ever been like a bug in a gacha game that's maybe gotten you or been able to get players free currency? Have you ever had that happen in a game you play?
Not to me, but it's happened in other games. It's happened in games, yeah.
If that happens, how does that typically get resolved by the company?
They take all that mess back.
Yeah. What if you've
they'll suck it straight out your account.
Yeah, so let's say you can get free coins, tokens, whatever, and you exploit it and you get a bunch. So they take them away?
Oh yeah.
What happens if you bought stuff with them already? You already spent them.
They'll take that too.
So they'll take okay.
They'll take every last bit of it. And there's usually no further penalty unless it was some type of an exploit to get a competitive advantage, if it's more of a competitive style situation.
Yeah, so
then you might eat a ban.
So if you abuse it, they might ban you. Okay. Well, this happened in Master Duel actually a couple weeks ago.
Uh-oh.
I meant to bring the story up last week, but so basically the Synchro Cup, it was a thing that they were doing recently, and they finished it up just the other day. But more importantly, in Master Duel, before any festival or cup happens, they will kind of just advertise it on the events list, kind of just to let people know to prepare for it. And there was a bug in the game where if you went to register for the Synchro Cup and then backed out, your account would just have 1,000 more gems.
Eh?
Yeah, it was a strange bug. It's never happened before. No clue why it happens. It just does. And this was a bug for all of about 15 minutes before.
Dang,
they pretty quickly took the game down, did a quick maintenance. People obviously exploited the hell out of this. Got hella gems, bought hella packs, opened lots of cards, got some royal rares and stuff from it. And when Konami addressed the issue, they did something that I thought was pretty funny. So you said that usually if you use that stuff in a gacha game, the company would take your currency away.
They'll take all that mess back.
Is that where they would stop?
Usually whatever you're not supposed to have, because everything's time stamped, so they'll just roll your account back to before you started using the exploit.
So here's what Konami did. You can go in the negative. They put people into gems debt.
Oh, okay. So that when some games, or actually a lot of games, you can go in debt if you do chargebacks.
Yeah.
Because what some people like to do in a lot of their gacha games, they will make a $99 microtransaction purchase, which it's kind of funny to say $99 in microtransaction in the same sentence. But they spend $99 to buy something, and then they would charge it back through their bank. But they, of course, they try and like spend it all in the game.
Yeah.
And so, if a lot of games ban you for it, and some games they won't ban you, but one they will take back what you got and then put you in a negative.
Yeah, so that's what Master Duel has done to people. It has put people in gyms negative, and apparently it can go like really deep because your maximum amount of gyms at any given time is like 10,000. Mm-hmm. So once you have 10,000 gyms, you just gotta spend them.
Right.
They will give you any new gyms that you get will go into like a gift box. So like you can spend your current gems and open your gift box stuff or whatever. But regardless, gift boxes eventually expire and 10,000 is your normal cap. I have heard that the gems, like the negative gems, there's like no limit to it.
Oh, Jesus.
It's just that like, so if you sat here and like abused this exploit for the full 15 minutes that you could, because all you had to do is like, go to this page, back out, go to this page, back out, go to this page, back, and like it was just giving. So you can be like hundreds of thousands of gems like in the negative. And if you get gems for like leveling up and doing your dailies, it'll just cut into your debt. But that's it. That's all. So there are accounts that may never, within any feasible length of time, recover from that. The response to this has been interesting, but I wanted to hear what you thought about that. Like,
so I think it's a tad greedy.
You think?
Because, like, in every game that has ever existed, if players discover an exploit, no matter how game breaking, they abuse it. That doesn't make you actually any worse of a gamer than any other. That's been the situation since gaming immemorial. Gamers exploit exploits. And this isn't like an incredibly competitive game where there's like cash prizes on the line or you're trying to enter into some type of a league. It's just Master Duel. The 99% of games mean nothing. So I don't think no one was really getting a competitive advantage over anyone else. So I don't think that really warrants like banning. And like any game, I'm sure they could have just rolled back all those accounts and just took everything they gained during that period away from them.
And that's what they did.
But then to tack on the negative part, see, that's slick because what they're going for is it's a soft ban. Because if you're a lot of people, when they see that negative gem thing, they're just gonna quit.
Yeah, they'll quit, make a new account, something like that.
So it's a soft ban, but then they know some people are gonna try and balance their debt. Not most, but some. And that's just another way for them to get sales.
I thought it was interesting because a lot of people were sort of claiming that, this is some of the headlines you see from like people's videos. Konami's enslaving their players. They're putting players into indentured servitude on Master Duel.
Ooh.
And I think that it is... I will agree that it is a heavy-handed way of handling it. But I'll say this, you knew it was an exploit and you got it. So I guess you can't be surprised to lose things. I wouldn't have put players negative. I think that that's just harsh. But like, I do get why they maybe just chose. Like, I don't know. I'm not so mad at Konami for this because I just think like it's it's an is what it is thing.
But in a lot of cases with game breaking exploits, it's not unknown for games to outright ban people for exploiting these things. And so Konami has essentially given people a choice: pay or take the ban.
Yeah, and I think I'm glad they aren't banning people. I think if they were banning people for exploiting like a bug that was in your game, like you guys kind of had this bug like available and you guys can catch it, I don't think people should be getting banned for that. That's just not fair.
But I also don't think gaming should have to give you so much more leverage than you'll see in life either. People always talk about, what if $1 million appeared in your bank account?
Yeah, like what would you do type of thing.
Because you know how it works. If money shows up in your bank account that you're not supposed to have, you're supposed to report it and then let the bank take that money away. You're not supposed to actually do anything with it. And if you do like withdraw any of that money, you will be held accountable for it.
Yeah.
And that can even lead to like criminal charges. But like,
It's rough, and
to some degree, I feel like that's just like game imitating life in that way. You exploited something that you knew that you shouldn't have been able to do, and now they're tacking on an extra punishment on top of it. I don't love it. It feels greedy to me. I think they should just ban people.
They're not actually tacking anything on top of it. They're just undoing what you got.
Wait, I thought they didn't. Wait, did they roll back their polls?
No, you get to keep all your polls.
Oh,
that's why they're doing it.
Never mind.
So
that changes
so here's like
everything
two situations. Let's say I have 1,000 gems.
Okay.
Just on my account, and I used this exploit 3 times, so I gained 3,000 gems.
Right.
So now I'm at 4,000. When that update happens, they will like charge my account 3,000 gems. So I go back down to 1,000. Cool.
Okay, I get it.
That's pretty agreeable. Let's say I did this exploit 5 times, and I got 5,000 gems, and I spent all those gems buying packs and opening stuff. I get to keep all the cards that I got. They will not take those off my account. But because my account's now currently at like 100 gems or whatever's left, they still will charge me 5,000, and now I'm negative 4,900 and whatever.
So I didn't realize they kept the cards. So that's different.
Yeah, so you're getting to keep the cards.
At this point, they're just justified.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It's like you're getting to keep the cards. Your account's not banned. You just are in a gems deficit. And that's why I don't really find this to be like the evil company, Konami, is so greedy, they're punishing players unjustly, when it's like, well, I mean, you got the gems and you spent them, and like you even got to keep what you pulled. So
it reminds me of those old stories about people being granted wishes from genies, but then the wish isn't exactly what they expected, and so it's kind of a punishment at the same time. I mean, you were getting something for nothing, and lo and behold, there was a punishment attached to it. It is what it is.
Yeah, so I thought that was kind of an amusing one. Wanted to see how you felt about that being like a regular gotcha game sort of guy.
I've never actually exploited a bug in a game. Never on purpose. I might have like stumbled into one, but it's never been my bag to really try to get a competitive advantage or ever to get something I didn't earn.
Yeah,
that's not like a moral high ground. I'm just too lazy.
Yeah, I mean, that's my thing too, is like, I think if I saw a bug like that, I just don't think I would exploit it, because like, I know something's going to happen, and at the time, I wouldn't know what, and so I'd just be scared to exploit it.
Like, I get too attached to my accounts.
Yeah, like, I just don't want my account to get banned.
Like, speaking of gotcha gaming, a lot of my accounts are old, and many thousands of $1 has been spent on them. I don't want to lose them, because I lost a lot to these games.
So as a segue into the rest of the card game stuff, here's the top 10 trading card game series sales for July 2025.
Oh, okay.
I want to open it up on yours too, if you want to follow along.
Oh, yeah. I'm pop it open.
So yeah, we sometimes on this podcast like to take a look at the best-selling games over a given period. Usual disclaimers, this does not necessarily like indicate that like a game is better than another, that a game is dying, and that it doesn't like represent the entire picture of card game competition in a territory. There's still
just sales.
Yeah, it's just sales. So the top 10 has Rush Duel at number 10.
Okay.
Lorcana at number 9, Disney Lorcana.
All right.
Number 8 was Union Arena. Number 7, Magic the Gathering.
Wait, am I looking at the right list? Okay, I see it now. Okay. Continue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, number 7 is Magic the Gathering. Number 6 is Y Schwartz. 5 is Gundam.
Let's go.
New game. 4, Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG.
4.
Number 3 is One Piece. Number 2 is Duel Masters.
They keep coming. It's crazy.
Yeah, Duel Masters is super popular.
They never fall off.
And number 1 is, of course, Star Wars Unlimited. No. Pokemon TCG. So, again, this is Japan, and this is July 2025. What do we think? Any immediate stuff stand out?
So the number one thing I have to say is, players of Duel Masters and like Japanese like card game players, put us on game. What is it about Duel Masters that's got y'all so like enraptured? Because y'all keep Duel Masters at the top of these lists consistently. It never falls off. And that's incredible.
It's usually hanging out. Like, I will say from the last few times we looked at this is the first time that I've seen Duel Masters like in the top 4 or 5 slots.
But it's
always in the top 10. It just seems like
even Battle Spirits fell off.
Well, I mean,
Duel Master. Well, they only ended Battle Spirits here in the West. In the East, Battle Spirits was strong, and I don't see it anymore.
Now, apparently for June, actually, I know right now Magic is number 7, and some months it's literally not even in the top 10 in Japan because Magic just as a game does not appeal.
But we know why it broke the top 10 here.
Well, actually, last month it was number 3, and that was because of Final Fantasy. This month it's down to number 7, which probably
it's
still a lot of the Final Fantasy sales and just other things, but it's cool because I think effectively what that means is that the Final Fantasy collab has vaulted Magic in the eyes of Japanese card gamers probably persistently now.
Though it is interesting because Final Fantasy has its own card game, and its own card game couldn't do it.
Yeah, I can't say too much about that game. I just know that it doesn't seem very popular anywhere.
Not even in Japan.
Not even in Japan. Yu-Gi-Oh! And stuff is hanging out. It's number 4. It bounces between like number 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5.
I'm glad to see Rush Duel still hanging on. The TCG space in Japan is extremely competitive. Definitely more competitive than it is here. And Rush Duel still finds its way to hold on.
Yeah, and I mean, like, we knew that Rush Duel was a pretty popular thing just from the time we visited Japan. It seemed like it sold really well. People like Rush Duel there. I think kids like it. It's kind of more of like a kids' teenagers game. Lorcana at number 9 was intriguing to me.
I mean, Disney and its like properties are popular in Japan, so I'm not too surprised.
Yeah. So
I'm just glad to see that the Gundam card game made a splash, but not higher than Yu-Gi-Oh. It would just be disrespectful for Gundam to like be another Bandai game to get over Yu-Gi-Oh. That would be disrespectful.
Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling that Gundam will be, nipping at the heels. Obviously, it just came out, so that's probably why this past month has been so popular for it.
We haven't even seen Set 2, and Set 1's like supply shortage is historic at this point.
Yeah, it remains to be seen if it will manage to maintain that. I do think that the Bandai games in general are all quite competitive. Like, they're coming out swinging. People like them.
I feel like Union Arena is doing better over there than it is here, too.
Yeah, I noticed Digimon is not in this top 10 list.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all understood.
I mean, it's like
I know it's in the top 20. I know it's
it's probably in the top 15. It's probably like number 11 or 12. The thing is, too, is like at the end of the day, there can only be 10 games in the top 10. You know what I mean?
And more games are coming out every day. Thanks a lot, Bandai.
So, yeah, you guys can kind of take a look at this, make your own inferences and conclusions. I saw that this is basically Doom of Dimensions was like the Yu-Gi-Oh set that was happening around here. So around this time, it was the 7th best-selling product. I mean, I've heard that Doom of Dimensions was not terribly well received. Like not badly, but just like not amazing. The first 6 most popular things were all Pokemon products. Sorry, the first 5. Wait, sorry, I'm lying. Okay. Number 1 was Pokemon card game Mega Brave, was that set. Okay. Number 2 was Mega Symphonia, which I guess is probably a similar set.
Yeah.
Number 3 was Duel Masters Love Thanksgiving Heroine Best.
I got nothing.
Might be like
I don't know what that means.
Number 4 is Pokemon card game Scarlet and Violet White Flare, and then Black Bolt's number 5. And number 6 is One Piece The Best Volume 2.
So like some type of like a
reprint set maybe or something. I don't know. And then number 7 was Doom of Dimensions, and then more other games. So
they got a crazy card game scene over there.
Yeah, it seems very healthy in the sense that it's very competitive. So like, if you're a card gamer, you have plenty to enjoy, and you've got plenty of games all vying for your attention, pushing each other forward. Great segue into Magic the Gathering, I would say. I saw you have a Magic story, and I've got a Magic story.
Which one should go first?
You can go first if you like.
Okay. Pop this bad boy open.
They're both actually remarkably similar when I think about it, these stories.
Wizards of the Coast says no truth to rumors that Magic the Gathering Spider-Man crossover will only get one print run. That's a weird one. So last week, rumors started swirling in some MTG circles that the upcoming Magic set or the Spider-Man Magic set would be limited to just one print run across all of its products. But today, Wizards of the Coast unequivocally told IGN that is not the case. When asked for comment on these claims, a Wizards of the Coast representative told IGN there is no truth to any rumors about SPM play boosters, I guess it's Spider-Man play boosters, being a single print run. While it's not uncommon for products like the more expensive collector boosters, which include special foil art, I mean, we all know about those, to be limited to a single printing, the rumors around the Spider-Man set off alarm bells because of the inclusion of play boosters specifically. Play boosters are their kind of bread and butter set for every main Magic the Gathering set. If you play Magic the Gathering like standard format or really any of their formats,
you'll need them.
You buy play boosters. Collector's boosters are way too expensive.
Yeah, so if it was like a single run, then people just literally would not be able to get these cards, and that's not okay.
So if those packs were more limited than usual, it could have wreaked havoc on the supply of cards that are meant to be broadly accessible and empowered scalpers to jack up prices.
Right. I'm glad that they didn't do that, because we already know that these Wizards of the Coast collabs go fast. We saw what happened with Final Fantasy.
Crazy.
It's hard to get that shit. And Spider-Man, I think, is going to do similarly well. Are you planning to pick up any Spider-Man?
Man,
they were talking, like Larry and Chris were talking about it.
I'm going to let other people pick it up, and I'm going to like scoop off of them because I'm too poor.
Yeah, I saw like Larry and Chris were lamenting the cost of a collector booster.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Chris was saying it's like $450. And it's just like, that's so interesting to me that, that it can just cost that much. Like, is that like the MSRP of it?
It's
like
yes and no. I don't know what the MSRP of them are exactly. I know they're very expensive. The problem is, as we all know, Magic the Gathering has never cared about an MSRP. Whether they had one or not, the secondary market dictates the price. And
oh my God,
like that's just how it is.
One collector booster MSRP is, guess how much? Like, this is MSRP on the official Magic the Gathering website.
So if I had to make an assumption, I would say $240.
Well, one pack, I mean.
Oh, one pack. Oh, okay. One pack, $40 to $50.
It's $37.99.
Okay. I was close with.
And that's just crazy to me. Like, one pack. So a collector's booster box MSRP, like I'm just looking at Best Buy, is $429.99.
I mean, it's expensive. It's more expensive than usual. The few times I bought collector boosters in the past, emphasis on past, because I'm not made of money anymore. I used to spend like $20 per pack, and so I think I would buy 2 collector's boosters, and that would be all the money I spend on the weekend.
That's just so like. Can someone please explain? Like,
well, okay, this is pretty easy. So Peter Parker was bit by a radioactive spider.
No. Why are they charging this much?
Oh, my bad. So he was dating this girl named Gwen Stacy, and during a battle with the Green Goblin, she was knocked off.
That's great. But why the fuck are these collector's boosters this much money? Like, okay, here's my problem. Listen, it's the fact that it's one pack. You're getting one pack for $37.99.
And it's great value. Because every single card in that pack is out the pack is hollow. They have alternate art styles.
So it's like, I guess just at a fundamental level, it's like worth more.
It's worth more. Okay. But they always save the best like foilings and artworks for these sets. And there's typically like some things you can only get in collector boosters, like those serialized cards and whatnot.
It's fucking ridiculous to me. Like, I think that they have become aware of how much they're able to charge, and they've just kind of been inching up that price.
Well, a lot of it is because, Eddie Brock is the host of the symbiote known as Venom, and because of...
I don't need Spider-Man trivia. I just want to know why they're charging this much. I was going to get into
how Carnage is technically his son, but whatever. It don't matter.
Here's some more Magic the Gathering news, if you want that. Speaking of Universes Beyonds that are popular, Magic the Gathering head designer says number of players opposed to Universes Beyond sets, quote, continually shrinks over time. So just, I guess, for a bit of background here, here's what they say. In providing a brief update on the ongoing push and pull between those who welcome the introduction of third-party IPs like Marvel's Spider-Man or Fallout into the TCG's ecosystem and those who don't, Magic the Gathering head designer Mark Rosewater, we hear from him all the time, says that the amount of players who oppose the game's Universes Beyond sets continues to steadily decline. So, yeah, for those of you guys who maybe aren't too big a fan of these Universes Beyond collabs, just know that your numbers are shrinking, according to Mark Rosewater. Here's what he has to say. Each release had some lessons, which I'll get to today, and there are some larger trends that some players aren't happy with, which I'll also touch upon. I do believe, though, that the design is in a healthy place, and we're continuing to improve our ability to make awesome Magic sets. So he kind of goes on and talks about, like, the way that they design the cards, how they explore the themes, all of that. But yeah, basically, he says that there are still players that don't like that we're doing Universes Beyond, although that sentiment continually shrinks over time. For example, Magic the Gathering Final Fantasy is already the best-selling Magic set of all time, and it just came out. Some players don't mind Universes Beyond sets in general, but they feel at home in Magic's fantasy setting. Some players are unhappy that we're including Universes Beyond sets in Standard. Some are unhappy that Universes Beyond booster packs cost more on average than Magic Multiverse booster packs. So it's just kind of interesting that, like, I guess he's just saying, like, yeah, you know, some people don't like this, but we're going to fucking do it.
Yeah.
That's kind of like what he's saying.
The title and his claim is that the number of people opposed to these sets is shrinking. But actually, all he said was these sets sell a lot. And then he listed off all the complaints that he did not actually
seem to think much of.
Yeah.
Like, it's good for him that I guess it's nice to know that he is aware of them. Like,
he's
sometimes
at least aware of the sales.
Yeah. I mean, like, on the Konami end, just to give a little Yu-Gi-Oh context for this, we sometimes, like, the average player has no clue if Konami's heard his or her complaints. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, Konami's never going to tell you, we heard you guys, we're going to, like, change this or improve this. They're just not the type of company that says that. Wizards is a little different in that they will acknowledge, you know, player concerns and complaints, and Mark Rosewater will say something about them in an interview or whatever. But, like, maybe it's a bit tone deaf.
I mean, this goes back to a saying that I've only ever said once, but my God, does it keep being relevant?
It's a saying now.
No one ever complains about not having an umbrella when it's raining money.
Yeah, I think that's kind of how it is with, like, they made a bunch of money off Final Fantasy. They ain't stopping.
Like,
it ain't stopping, brothers.
Like, let's say it's literally raining money, right, Paul? And every bill is sopping wet, right?
Yeah. Oh no.
You know what's weird? You still wouldn't complain about these sopping wet bills slapping you because it's money.
It's still money.
And in this case, they acknowledge that people have quite a few different issues with Universes Beyond sets, but then they're like, well, do their problems outweigh the revenue? And I think he's made his point.
Yeah, he's made his stance pretty clear. You know, as always, I am not a Magic the Gathering player. Alec is, though. So, are you like...
That might change in the future.
How do you like Universes Beyond? Like, do you feel that...
Oh, man. So I'm not fair. I'm not a fair example because I didn't play Magic before Universes Beyond. I mean, I technically played a little bit in middle school, but I did not stick with it, not in the slightest, and didn't intend to come back to the game until Lord of the Rings happened. So it was literally Universes Beyond that got me back into playing Magic. And I honestly, and this is no hate to Magic, if Universes Beyond didn't exist, I would not play Magic the Gathering, Commander or otherwise. I just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, no, I think that's actually fair. Like, so effectively you, much like other people we know, like Larry or like Chris, kind of got into Magic because of Universes Beyond. You are effectively the person that Mark Rosewater and his crew wanted to recruit into the game, and it worked. And I think it's important, actually, like in all seriousness, to respect that, because there are going to be players who just would not have touched Magic otherwise. It simply aesthetically wasn't really their thing, did not draw their eye. It seems like where I have seen the most, like, where I've sort of seen the divide, the fissures begin to form, is that whole standard format thing. I think that's where, like, when I hear people complaining, it's the fact that, like, these cards are playable in standard format.
I do think we should have stayed away from standard and their other formats. When Universes Beyond felt like it was a more of a Commander thing, I felt like it was fine because, well, Commander's more of a casually focused format. You don't have to really know what you're doing. You can just sit down with your friends and have Aragorn's like kill a Hobbit and Sauron will do with it. You could just kind of fuck around.
Your Krabby Patty.
But yeah, your Krabby Patty, and then get your Fortnite grenade or what's it called, a boogie bomb and whatever. It was casual. That's my point. But dipping your toes into standard, which is their premier competitive format that they were trying to revive, and to some degree, I think mixing Universes Beyond actually does help revive their standard format. Because let's be honest. You guys let standard die. Now, I know you're going to say that, well, Wizards let standard die, but, I mean, at the end of the day, if players would played the format, then they probably wouldn't have felt the need to inject more life into the format by including the extremely popular and heavily invested in Universes Beyond into the format. You got to take the good with the bad.
Yeah, the ideal pipeline, I guess, would be that, like, I get and I start playing Magic because of Final Fantasy. Mm-hmm. And then I see that, like, oh, there is this thing called Standard. I guess I'll try it out because I have these cards anyway. And, like, it looks fun and they're legal there, so.
And I'm not going to lie. To some degree, I think Wizards of the Coast and their parent company, Hasbro, has kind of decided that the core Magic base, basically players who played Magic consistently before Universes Beyond came out, are actually no longer their target demographic anymore.
Yeah.
Because by bringing Universes Beyond into the standard format, it sounds to me they're trying to create a new type of core Magic player.
New Magic.
They knew that people like me would show up for the Universes Beyond sets, buy them, build Commander decks, and then never get really into the rest of Magic at all. But by making them standard legal, it's like if they can just trick us into getting into their premier competitive format, now we become the new core Magic player. Like we always talk about how there's like old Yu-Gi-Oh and Yu-Gi-Oh. Well, now there's new Magic.
Yeah, new Magic really is Fortnite.
Yeah, just colorful characters from IPs all across the world and
characters everywhere. That and you play kind of just whatever IP you like. Aragorn can fight.
Well, actually, the Lord of the Rings cards aren't standard legal.
Oh yeah, because that was before they made that change, wasn't it? But I mean, it's still, I guess, for even Commander format, Aragorn can fight against Cloud and
so much fun.
SpongeBob will be equipped to something. I don't know.
I think, but now in standard, you just have to make your peace with. I mean, you're going to be there's going to be Final Fantasy cards kind of all over because, well, that at one point was their newest set, and the same will happen with Spider-Man soon.
And
you'll
Avatar.
Just be assaulted by spiders and avatars. They're going to be bending and web slinging.
Yeah, my outsider opinion is that they're getting the money, so that's probably how it's going to go. I just don't like that they've increased the price of everything. Like, I guess the reason that they increased those prices is partly to cover the licensing fees, or at least I'm sure that's what they would tell you. But I just don't like seeing Magic cards be so prohibitively expensive for people to buy, but I don't play it, so my opinion counts for dirt. Honestly,
it's rough, but what I'll say is this: if you don't aspire for the collector's versions of cards, and you're fine with just regular playable versions of cards,
then it's probably pretty easy.
You're probably fine. Like,
that's similar to Pokemon. Like, Pokemon's like that too.
Pokemon's like that too. Now, there is an exception. Those mythics that come in the play boosters that typically you need for like 4 copies of for like your standard decks and stuff, those will still have a price because they're competitive. But for the most part, if you just you set your sights a little low, honestly, if you just set a budget, you're fine.
Well, it's a great segue to Pokemon. So, this past weekend was the Pokemon 2025 World Championships.
Did you win?
Yes.
Nice.
Here's my trophy. No, it was huge. It was so big, I could not avoid seeing it on my timeline even if I wanted to. The kind of headlining thing I think most people talked about was like that huge fancy stage setup that they had where like the finalists on the finals day, they're in this giant arena surrounded in all sides by this giant arena with this like 4-part screen where it's like facing each direction. And then also on the stage itself, they're sitting on top of like a just giant glowing ring, that illuminated ring that's like that showed the gameplay as it developed in the game. So when they played cards, the cards showed up on this giant like floor screen. And they did that for Pokemon Unite. They did that for Pokemon TCG, VGC, like everything. Awesome.
You would think that they are the ones who invented Yu-Gi-Oh! That's some Kaiba level.
I know.
Presentation.
I got to give it to the Pokemon Company. They go all out for Pokemon Worlds. They also had a bunch of announcements as well. Just different things of stuff happening next year and all that. First of all, next year they said that they're going to be using Pokemon Champions for the 2026 World Championship.
That'll be exciting. I know there's a lot of interest in Pokemon Champions, especially from the competitive side of Pokemon, but even like the more casual side of Pokemon battling, because Pokemon battling is a popular kind of hobby for a lot of people. They didn't all participate in VGC because of obvious barriers, but Champions really opens that up for them. So, I mean, I think we're about to see more interest in competitive Pokemon battles than we've ever seen before.
I think they also gave a little bit of new information on the game. It's not here in this article, but basically it was like the game is going to be free to start, so there will be some sort of microtransactions.
Of course.
They've confirmed. And there is going to be a paid version of the game that you can get on the Switch and Switch 2. So I'm not sure what the distinction for that's going to be, because what it currently sounds like is if you're playing the game on like iOS, Android, or whatever, then it's free to play, like freemium. But on the Switch and the Switch 2, there's at least some available option where you can buy like a paid version, and that maybe that just comes with something, some features or some bonuses, or
it better just be the whole thing. Because if there's one thing I hate, and I hate it more than just about anything, pay for games that still have freemium like systems, like all those extra microtransactions and the dual currencies. If I bought your game, I swear to God, I better not see a $99 package I can purchase for crystals that can get turned into stars that I can then use to do the other thing.
Actually, this is not related to this, but just a quick side tangent is some of the people that I rode with to go to this regional this past weekend. One of them was like a Pokemon TCG Pocket fan, and he was saying that he finds the $10 a month subscription for that game, like that optional thing. He says he really finds that to be worth it for him.
It's solid value.
And I was asking him why, and he was just like, I literally just like being able to open more packs every day.
Yeah.
And I was like,
because it functionally doubles the amount of packs that you open. And for some people, like, it's not for everybody, but for some people, they spend $10 a month. They spend more than $10 a month gaming anyway. Yeah. So if they were willing to spend money on Pokemon, on TCG Pocket, so let's assume you're already willing to spend money on this game. There's actually no better value than getting that $10 pass.
Yeah, for that person, that's true.
It's double the amount of packs. You're going to finish collecting the sets faster. You're going to have more currency to use. It really does smooth out the gameplay to a pretty enjoyable degree. I've had it twice. I had a free trial of it when the game first came out. Then I bought it once when it was a Tyranitar card. I said I'd buy it every time it's a Tyranitar card, but I haven't bought it for this current Tyranitar yet. Mostly because I Wonder picked both copies of it almost immediately. But
oh yeah, you got to wear your Tyranitar shirt at the next pod.
I do, because I love that guy.
Anyway, okay, here's the next announcement. Oh, actually, one last thing about Pokemon Championships. It's good that it's replacing Scarlet and Violet because apparently there's literally during the live stream on one of the days, Scarlet and Violet are kind of buggy and they have some issues. Famously. Apparently during a funny commentary moment, one of the Pokemon just disappeared off the screen because that shit happens. And the commentator at the time was saying something like, okay, this Pokemon is not currently a threat. So-and-so needs to pay more attention to this part. And literally when he said it's not much of a threat, it disappeared.
It's like he made it disappear.
It's the commentator's curse.
Guess I'll die. It just disappears.
Empoleon, Delmise, and Vaporeon will be joining the Pokemon Unite roster.
That's a lot of water types.
I gotta say, I did not expect Pokemon Unite to have taken off in the way that it has, but it's just got a pretty big scene.
I don't know how big the scene for Unite is, but I would never doubt the branding and IP of Pokemon.
Yeah, that's true. You tack Pokemon on it, it's just going to kind of go well. Mega Evolution coming to Pokemon TCG Pocket.
Oh, man, I'm so excited if they give me Mega Tyranitar.
They're giving Mega Altaria, Mega Gyarados, Mega Blaziken, and many more Mega Evolutions.
All I care about is Tyranitar. Well, no, Mega Evolution was one of my favorite. Actually, I think most people would agree of the alternative evolution types. Mega Evolution was kind of the best one.
Legendary Pokemon Eternamax Eternatus makes its global Pokemon Go debut.
Then that's another good example of the power of the Pokemon IP. Pokemon Go is still here.
Yeah, people still play that. It's funny, actually. They said that it began appearing in Anaheim, California, right after the championships concluded, which is such a cool thing to think about, right? If you went to California to go to the championships, and then right as the event's ending, an Eternatus appeared in the city,
rips through the sky,
and so now everybody who's there for Pokemon, they're playing Pokemon Go on their phone, and you walk outside, and there's some raid battle type thing going on.
As Pokemon Go, it's almost 10 years old.
I know.
It came out in 2016. That's crazy.
Mega Charizard X and more returning to the Pokemon TCG. So I don't know too much about returning, what that means.
Mega Evolutions haven't been in the game for a while.
Yeah. Okay, I thought they meant a certain card that was maybe banned. 4-player ranked battles are coming to Legends ZA. Now this was actually really neat. They showed a trailer for...
It's going to be ranked?
Yeah, that's what they say. So they showed a trailer for Legends ZA's Battle Club, where it's a 4-player ranked battle. They showed 4 trainers battling at once, being able to take down multiple Pokemon at once with a powerful, well-timed AoE attack like Draco Meteor. The goal is to get the most knockouts you can before the 3-minute timer is up. And don't worry, you can rejoin after one of your Pokemon faints. So these are real-time link battles, and you can play them locally or online against other players.
That's interesting. I assumed the Legends games wouldn't have... I figured they all just wouldn't really have competitive aspects to them because of their more novel battle systems. And even this, while they call it ranked, doesn't feel like the most competitive thing in the world to me. It reminds me of how competition works in a lot of kind of collector gacha games where it's a simple who does the most damage in an amount of time. You're not as much pitting player skill versus player skill. It's more of pre-planning and tactics, and then you let the numbers run up.
Yeah. 2026 Championship Sunday is going to be taking place at the Chase Center in San Francisco. So this year, the World Championships were in Anaheim, California, but next year they're going to be upscaling it, bringing it to the massive Chase Center, which has a seating capacity of 18,064, at least for basketball games. So compare that to Anaheim, which has a capacity of 7,500, and that was filled to capacity this year.
Well, Pokemon has is there even a true upward limit to what they can, what kind of a stadium they can pack up?
This is more than double the amount of people that will be able to come in. And what's interesting is the way that they constantly innovate how the finals are presented. it feels like going to Pokemon Worlds should just be like everyone's dream, not even for competition's sake, but like because it just seems like it is an experience.
I mean, it's one of the most Pokemon things you can do as a Pokemon fan.
And speaking of being a Pokemon fan, they also announced Pokemon XP, which is a new Pokemon fan experience that's going to be coming to San Francisco in actually just a couple of weeks. Or actually, no, I got the years wrong. Next year.
Okay, next year.
So we already knew the 2026 World Championships were coming to San Francisco, but so is Pokemon XP, which is a new, quote, event that celebrates all things Pokemon with a range of Pokemon-centric festivities. It'll take place on August 28th to 30th, 2026, which overlaps with the 2026 World Championships at the Moscone Center in downtown San Francisco. Passes are going to go on sale this September and start at $120 for a multi-day pass for adults and $70 for youth under 18. So there are two different multi-day passes, the regular one and the multi-day plus arena, which includes normal access to the event plus access to the arena on Championship Sunday. So that sounds cool.
I don't actually understand what it is.
So it seems like I think what's going on is this Pokemon fan experience is more for like casual fans that probably want like merch and just activities. And then the championships are kind of more for
like the tournament goers.
They're tournament goers. And they're turning them into sort of two separate events, but they can be melded into one if you so choose.
So it's like
if you're interested.
Like a Pokemon themed convention.
Yeah, that's the vibe I'm getting. Yeah.
I was looking at a picture. I don't know if this is a mock-up or their actual image for the event. It's got this kind of like Pikachu light show deal.
Oh, I bet they'll do that shit.
And you know what it reminds me of? Leon Hart's event.
Oh yeah, we went to the Leon Hart pop-up shop and they did the drone show.
Yeah, they had the drone show in the sky. It was really cool. And I wonder if like if that is serving as a bit of the inspiration here, because like that was during a time when the Pokemon boom was still rising, and I guess it still hasn't stopped rising.
It really hasn't,
because it's insane the stadiums they're filling up. But I wonder if inspiration was taken that from like an indie person hosting a fairly large scale like Pokemon event, and they're like, well, we're the Pokemon company, we can do that times like 50.
Yeah, I think that we're just kind of at a point now where like Pokemon has shown that there's no limits. This is, you can say whatever you will or may about like some of the recent games not being totally polished and all this.
We've said plenty about that.
They always break sales records. You can throw a Pokemon at anything and it sells. And you have to give an IP credit for staying as relevant as it has over 30 years. Like,
that's impressive. I don't know anything that I've known for 30 years.
Yourself.
Who am I?
Yeah, it's really hard though, because like you see so many like franchises and IPs just kind of struggle to maintain relevance or lose their identity somewhere along the way, or just people kind of naturally their tastes just change.
So I feel like there are more Pokemon haters than there ever have been as well.
I think that I don't know even. Like I think that the internet has certainly made it more like it's easier to shout about not liking Pokemon, but it doesn't seem to change much about its popularity.
Though we've also, because now a lot of us are adults since Pokemon came out when we were children, I have noticed there is a distinct number of people who were a part of that. Well, my parents or my like church or my school said Pokemon was devil worship, so I couldn't get into it. And now they're bigger Pokemon fans than kids that could play Pokemon back then were.
Yeah, I think what's also happening too is like I remember we lived through Pokemania, where like kind of that lightning in a bottle, late 90s, early 2000s.
Perfect marketing,
everything just worked out thing.
Everything was Pokemon back then.
But what's funny is that if you lived through that, then now as an adult, you are likely, you're making more money and you're now more than willing to relive your childhood by spending that money on merch.
That's right.
And like you are willing to buy the plushes, the toys, the collabs, like everything. And just like what we were talking about with the Pokemon Day thing that was a few weeks ago, like there's still like they're always announcing new things. Like Pokemon doesn't actually seem like it rests.
Paul, you have no Pokemon in here.
There's a Mudkip over there. It's just you can't see it.
Oh, that's right. Okay, you do have one. Okay,
my favorite.
All right, cool. I have to make sure there was some Pokemon representation.
I could use a little bit more Pokemon stuff.
You heard that, folks. Send us links to all the Pokemon merch. Paul wants a life-size Vaporeon for reasons.
Thanks for that. Anyway. Yeah, so that's a great, fun Pokemon story. I would like to go to Pokemon Worlds next year. Let's make it happen.
Let's just make it happen. I mean, hey, Pokemon Company, if you'd like
send us out,
fly out.
They invite content creators. I saw Leon Hart got a paid. He
better.
But also I saw Simo went. I don't think he got paid for it, but he got a content creator pass. I saw he went. I saw Rhyme Style and other people. So
I mean, it's if you're in this kind of nerd card game space, you might as well if you can go. If you can go.
Right. So that's Pokemon. I've got a sad game story.
Aww. What's the sad story?
Sony's raising the price of the PS5.
That's not sad. It's expected.
Yeah. So Sony's raising the price of the PlayStation 5. All 3 different models by $50 starting today.
Immediately.
Yeah.
That's funny because my little brother's birthday was only, Wednesday? 2 days ago, and he got a PS5. So I guess he got one of the last ones for
Your parents lucked out.
One of the last ones to get it at that price.
In a blog post announcing the change, Sony cited the, quote, challenging economic environment, which includes the tariffs President Trump has placed on imported products. The changes are going to go into effect on Thursday, and the new prices are as follows, Alec. You ready to buy a PlayStation 5 for $549.99?
Sure.
Okay. And the digital edition is now $499.99. And guess how much a PlayStation 5 Pro will run you?
Wouldn't that be $750?
$750.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got to do a quick check because now I'm curious because I bought a basically scalped PlayStation back during the pandemic.
Well, I remember what you got. You got one from it was one of those bundles you were saying.
Yeah, I'm curious. How much did I actually spend on that? What did I win or did I lose?
I think that you won in the sense that you still played the normal MSRP at the time, and then you got some extra stuff with it.
Oh yeah, this is way more expensive than I paid. Yeah. I mean, I'm not to laugh at others' misfortune. I just think that the people who wanted PS5s kind of already got them. I
suppose so.
I know some people out there might have been waiting for a price drop. So it's very strange to be living in a time where a console that's been already stated that it's at the end of its lifespan to get a price increase. That's kind of wonky.
I think the trouble here is mostly just that it affects kids a lot. If you're a kid and you were expecting you wanted a PS5 for Christmas. Ooh. And your birthday or something, I don't know. And your family is kind of one of these families where, and there's plenty of them where okay, a new console came out that does not mean you're getting it this Christmas. You know what I mean? There's some families that will get a Switch 2 on release. Right. There are some that will get it this Christmas. There was some that will get it in Christmas 2028 or 2029 because mom and dad that's how it works in this family. And I think that for those people, that's really unfortunate because, it might feel like that PS5 is that much further out of grasp because, mom and dad maybe were able to, save up for a PS5 or might have been able to in this theoretically upcoming Christmas. And now, $550 just kind of pushes it past what they would be willing to spend on a thing. It varies from household to household. It just sucks.
I just wonder how much more money Sony expects to make at this point. Even I know that there has to be an amount of people who are still willing to buy them at this point in its lifespan. But is that enough to make up the revenue difference here?
For them, I think yes, because I think the way that they see it is people are going to buy these PS5s eventually. And when they do, they just need to be at a price that is adjusted for tariffs. And the way I see it is basically this, right? These PS5s, Sony has sold PlayStations for 30 years now. And basically, they know that every single PlayStation, the PS4, the PS3, the PS2, and the PS1, all sold well beyond their lifespan. Like, people still buy PS4s today, if you can believe it. People were buying PS2s. PS2s up until like 2011.
Don't say it like that. I was playing my PS2 in 2011.
Exactly. Like, and there were people who were like buying them, like getting them for the first time in like 2009, 10, 11. So they know that even if a PS6 is, let's say, going to come out in 2027, 8, something like that, right? That's when the PS6 will come out. People will still be buying PS5s then. There will be people who will get a PS5 when the PS6 comes out.
That does make sense.
Just like how there were people who probably finally got a PS4 basically when the PS5 came out. And so for those people, Sony's like, well, we still, I mean, you know, these tariffs, we got to just cover our lost profits.
I mean, you want to cover your lost products. I mean, your lost profits, you know, maybe not have horrible like supply issues when the console first launches, and maybe have games for the console when it first came out to actually make more people want to buy it earlier on instead of waiting for later.
Now, Sony says that the retail prices of PS5 accessories remain unchanged.
Oh, that's different from Xbox. If I remember correctly, they increased everything.
Nintendo did that with the Switch 2.
Oh, was that Switch?
Because the Switch 2 did not increase its price, but they increased the price of all those Switch 2 accessories. Oh. Also, though, Xbox did, you might remember, in May, increase the price of all the Xbox Series models by $50 roughly. And so we saw the writing was on the wall with Sony because we kept covering these stories. We're like, they increased the price in Australia. They increased the price in Europe. So we knew it was only a matter of time. It would be
weird if Sony didn't. If everybody else is increasing their prices and they've increased their own prices in every other territory, it was going to come to like the Americas soon enough.
Yeah, so.
I do wonder why they staggered it. I wonder if it was like an experimental thing or an approval thing.
My totally unprofessional opinion says that it's probably just because they wanted to like just hold off the bad news as long as they possibly could. Like, because at the end of the day, like if you announce this, I'm sure their like stock price is gonna fall a little bit, and like shareholders are gonna be like, "Oh, are people really gonna buy it?" You know, at the end of the day, it'll probably be fine. But like, if you can ever, I guess, offset it by like doing it somewhere else, because like the United States is gonna be like the largest market.
Yeah.
So. I don't know. And I don't even fucking like. What do I know? Like, I don't
maybe
run
China's
Sony.
The largest market, really, or India. Well, not India. I mean, it's a large market, but I don't think it's the largest. Anyway,
it's the PS5.
Some things have changed in the gaming sphere since the pandemic. PC gaming has been on the up, and I wonder if that also has played a role in these consoles' decision to raise their prices. More and more people are getting into PC gaming rather than console gaming. And I think it's a more competitive space than it's ever been. Maybe they feel the need that we need to make more money per unit.
Could be that, yeah. That's the PS5. I'd like to hear what people have to say about these price increases. I really hate to hear it. I fear that the Switch 2 might be next, but who knows?
I wonder if they will make it past Christmas before.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is, I think Nintendo, they really probably would prefer to like make it past this first Christmas.
Because like. That's a bad Christmas when the Nintendo console, which will do numbers during the holidays, has to get a price increase before its first Christmas.
Oh, this is before we move on to the next thing. I did actually get to hold a Switch 2 for the first time this past weekend.
Change your life?
Switch 2. I was impressed by how thin it is. Like they get the same thickness as the Switch, but like it's just a lot bigger. And so that was kind of nice. And it does have more premium like materials.
So as someone who owns a Steam Deck and you also have now held a Switch 2, how do you what was the feeling like compared to your Steam Deck?
So I've got my Steam Deck right here actually. And if I had to say, I think if I had to pick one based purely on the ergonomics, I would pick the Switch 2. Because this thing is a little thick and chunky. It's not actually huge, but like it is a little bit thicker and a little bit heavier. And while I do think it's built with the same or maybe slightly more premium materials, I found the Switch 2's like kind of light smallness to be an attractive part of it. I don't think, and that's strictly talking about just those ergonomics. I just thought that like it being as thin as it was nice. I know that like carrying this thing around, like I sometimes want to travel with this, But the conundrum that I've run into is that Valve includes a carrying case for this. It's a very basic ass case, but like it's chunky and big, and you put it inside, and like it's kind of like face down because there's these indentions for the control sticks to not get damaged and jostled around. But like that inside of its case is so big that it's really hard to fit in my backpack. So then I have to like, I could bring it as like checked luggage, but if it's luggage, then I can't like use it on the plane or like really at the airport and stuff. So like, I ended up having to order that D-brand like kill switch case. I don't know if you've seen that. They make one for Switch 2 and they make one for this where like it's a case, it's like a protective case for this thing, but it also has like a face covering that you just put on top of the whole thing. And that protects it while you're traveling while keeping it smaller than it would be inside that giant carrying case.
Got it.
So that's one thing I liked about the Switch 2. Yeah. Anyway, next story. I know you, I think, had a couple other gaming things.
I'm scrolling. So Gamescom is going on right now.
It is.
I thought it was a one-day thing. Allegedly, it is a week-long event.
Yeah, I think it's just like kind of happening all week. Like they're just showcasing things and demos. But I think the main opening night was where like all the trailers were.
Yeah, at least a lot of like big name trailers dropped, and I miss all of them. And so I'm kind of seeing them for the first time right now as we're speaking.
Yeah, same. I didn't know like anything. Like I kind of forgot it. The Gamescom was like happening because I normally hear about it, but like anyway,
I wasn't plugged in, y'all. My weekends are so full of card games. I'm not tapped in like I used to be. But we saw the Call of Duty Black Ops 7 trailer, and I only knew about that because my older brother's a huge Black Ops fan. So
what did you think about it? Because I heard a little bit of controversy around, and maybe this wasn't even the 7 trailer. It might have been something about like the last Call of Duty game, where people didn't like the visual direction of like the game because all the like collabs and stuff, I guess, have broken some of the visual immersion for people. Maybe that's not.
I mean, I know with the collabs, a lot of that has to do with like the skins they have for like Warzone and whatnot. I don't know too much about that discourse, but what I do know about Black Ops, from my older brother said, is that I think the quote was, I don't love the look of the new Duty, but it's Black Ops, so I'm in.
So he's just like a Call of Duty guy.
He's a Black Ops fan. That's his series. I don't quite get it because I'm not really a Call of Duty guy. Never been. I just was around when Black Ops came out.
Yeah.
So
you played the Call of Duty. Which one had the Ghost in the Shell collab?
That was Call of Duty Mobile.
Okay. Yeah, I remember.
And I played it because of Ghost in the Shell, not because of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
We had the trailer for Fallout Season 2. I actually heard good things about the Fallout series, but I felt absolutely no will to watch it because and this is a controversial take, I actually don't like the Fallout series of games.
I never played Fallout, so I just don't know.
Oh, you're better than me. At least you don't know. I've played them, and I'm like...
Oh, so you played them, you just didn't really
I played them, and I'm like, I actually rather not do that again.
Didn't Fallout get a Magic collab?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Fallout's
that's what I played. Yeah, I played that in our video with the professor. Yeah, because I remember like he kind of assigned this deck to me, and I was like, oh, okay.
Because, we all had to play Universes Beyond strategies.
Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
There was the Sekiro Shadows Die Twice anime trailer, which I actually haven't read yet. I'm actually just clicking it for the first time right now.
Oh, I saw this trailer. I thought this. Okay, I'm gonna sound so dumb. I saw this trailer from Crunchyroll. It's getting an anime, and I thought it was just like some new anime, but apparently it is an anime like adaptation of the game Sekiro Shadows Die Twice.
Yes, it's called Sekiro No Defeat. It's actually got pretty fire animation, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, I see this main character with the like yellow eyes and the sideburns.
Yeah, it actually looks dope. Sekiro is one of those games that I almost tried, but it was right before I bought Sekiro that I said, I'm really bad at Souls-like games, and I keep wasting my money buying them. Yeah. So I didn't. Nothing against Sekiro, but I'm bad at those games, and I've spent a lot of money not finishing them, so I stopped.
Right.
Speaking of Souls-like games, we saw Black Myth Zong Kui. I know I butchered that name, but that's part of the Black Myth Wukong.
I think it's like a sequel.
I think it's a sequel. I don't know too much about Wukong other than the fact that my older brother absolutely loved that game.
I remember that it was that game that kind of like came out and was talked about a lot, and people were like, "This needs to get Game of the Year," and like it sort of like just out of nowhere, it was just really popular and a little controversial because what game isn't now? So
I can say Black Myth Wukong looks good, and from the little bit I'm seeing in this trailer, the sequel looks good too. So I think people have something to be excited about.
I saw this Monster Hunter Wilds X Final Fantasy 14 online crossover.
I'm glad they brought back the Monster Hunter Final Fantasy 14 collabs.
I'm pleased. I know, we're 14 players. Yeah. I know you also
the
play.
Critically acclaimed MMORPG.
And you also play Monster Hunter.
Yes,
so.
Specifically Monster Hunter Wilds. Oh, I do play all Monster Hunter games. I don't stick with them. I play them for 2 weeks, have a great time, then I stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's good enough for me. That's not saying the games are bad. That's just how much bandwidth I have for them.
Right. That's all that I see on that list that I recognize. Anything else you recognize?
There's plenty more. I don't know too much about them. They showed off Indiana Jones in a Great Circle. Not my cup of tea, but I know it's for someone else. The Outer Worlds 2, which I'm surprised even got a sequel, but we saw a trailer for that.
I saw Silent Hills F or Silent Hill F.
Keep that away from me.
What is that?
Silent Hills? No.
Oh, so you just don't like the games?
Do not like Silent Hills.
Okay, fair.
Not at all. Ninja Gaiden 4, we saw that. I don't even remember when Ninja Gaiden 3 came out.
Yeah, Ninja Gaiden is actually one of those old games that I have heard about and never played. Like, I feel like it's one of those games that you're kind of supposed to have played. Like, it's socially expected that you're kind of supposed to have played it, and I guess I haven't.
It was kind of one of those games during kind of the PS3 era.
Right,
like,
it sounds
Ninja
about right.
Gaiden went crazy in middle school. Or was that high school? No, I think it was middle school. It was just super popular. I'm looking at the trailer now. Ninja Gaiden 4 looks every bit as like action-packed. What is that? Ryo Hayabusa looks cooler than ever. Yeah, this looks fire. Maybe I'll get to play this one because, to be honest, I really didn't play Ninja Gaiden because I got my PS3 very late in life. Cinder City, that's an MMORPG. And okay, that's kind of all I'm seeing here. Guys, let us know if like something stood out to you at Gamescom. We're not the most well played gamers in the world. We have a few games that we like a lot, but we don't play everything. I recently
started playing Yakuza. Like a Dragon.
That's right.
I think I mentioned. I guess you already knew, but yeah, in my quest to find things to play on my Steam Deck, I saw Yakuza Like a Dragon on sale. It's a Sega game. I like Sonic, so it's like, Sega made it. I'll give it a crack. And so I bought it and I played it, and I've been liking it. It's just a like little RPG, and it's got a neat story, and that's been fun. And like, the reason that's a big deal for me is because like it's hard to get me to like.
That's true. Play
video games really. Like, I play Master Duel and I log into Final Fantasy, and like that's it. So it's just rare for me to like play a game. I've got a bit of a Steam library of stuff, but like,
I mean, everyone has a Steam library of games they don't play.
Yeah, so.
But I remember when Like a Dragon was first announced, and when it came out, it was a very controversial game because it's the first turn-based Yakuza game. Yeah. And some people just could not make their peace with that, while other people were like, this is the only way I want to play Yakuza games from now on. So you got a bit of a mixed bag. I'm actually a Yakuza fan. I played Yakuza years ago, but then I kind of fell off when I didn't upgrade my my consoles, and I'm actually glad that you're playing Like a Dragon, because if I were ever to get back into playing Yakuza games, that was actually first on my list.
Right. Okay. Well, cool. Gamescom's fun. Let us know what you guys are looking forward to that you saw from that. I saw like there was some Sonic Cross Worlds, like they're doing a Pac-Man collab. I'm looking forward to that game, Sonic Cross Worlds. They announced that.
It's incredible. The more I hear about Cross Worlds, the less I care.
Yeah, Alec just doesn't like Sonic, but it's okay.
It's not the Sonic thing. It's the collabs. The collabs are diluting the game even, because like, to be fair, I'm not the highest on the Sonic like fandom ladder, but when I start hearing like collab,
it actually
I'm like,
diminishes. Yeah, listen, between you and me, same. And I was actually looking forward to Sonic Cross Worlds because I kind of thought it was going to be like so it's based on that same formula as the Sonic racing games, like the Sonic and Sega All-Stars games, where it's like really more of like, they use Sonic a lot in the marketing, but it's like a celebration of all of Sega's properties.
Right.
And they did that for the first one and the second one, and the third one was like Team Sonic Racing. Same engine, but all Sonic characters.
Yep.
Cool. Not the best game in terms of getting online support, but like a fine game. This new one got announced, and when they said Cross Worlds, I think a lot of people took that to mean it was going to be like maybe some characters from the Sonic comic books and stuff, like kind of
across Sonic worlds.
And there are some of those characters, but it's really just Sonic Fortnite. Because they have everyone in that game.
Everything you could possibly think of.
Steve from Minecraft, Pac-Man, Joker from Persona, and
it's just Smash Racing.
I can speak to this, I know a lot of Magic players that don't like Universes Beyond. This is kind of my equivalent to that. I really don't like a lot of crossover stuff. I think what's actually slowly happening to me is I'm starting to just become like a little burnt of the whole everyone is crossing over into everything all the time nature of gaming now.
I agree.
Where it's just like, I think that there are some series that used to do crossovers, like have historically done them, and it's kind of a big deal.
Like Fortnite. Yeah,
like Fortnite, it's just that's just what Fortnite is.
No, I think we're more talking about things like Marvel versus Capcom.
Yeah, your Marvel versus Capcom. So your Tekken would get like one kind of guest character. In
Soul Calibur was good for it.
Soul Calibur got I remember Soul Calibur got like Link or something.
Got Link in it. I had Yoda and Darth Vader one year.
Yeah, I remember Yoda was in the one that was on Xbox 360. I think that was Soul Calibur 4.
Good times.
So I think that stuff like that's kind of tasteful, and I get it. I'm like drawing the line kind of just wherever I personally want it to be. But when these games are just like everyone's everywhere,
the
Nicki Minaj is in Call of Duty.
Hey, now.
No. That's just like, but also like so is 21 Savage.
Okay, yeah, that cross line there.
But then also it's like, Terry is in Street Fighter. Fine. Right, 2 fighting games, and that it doesn't feel. But then it's just like, oh my god! Sometimes
it's like now Mario is in Street Fighter.
Yeah, it's okay. Like how many different? Whatever. I'll stop this rant before I get unhinged. I see this thing about Roblox. Tell me about it.
Oh yeah, I saw it because I saw. Guys, I'm from Louisiana, and I remember seeing a headline that the state of Louisiana is actually suing Roblox, and so I saw this headline: petition to remove Roblox CEO reaches up to 100K signatures amid child safety concerns. And I just grabbed it real quick because it reminded me that Roblox is actually seeing an increased amount of scrutiny lately, and I wanted to actually know more about it, so we're going to learn about it together.
The petition started on August 9th, and it accused Roblox of failing to protect children, alleging that the company has repeatedly overlooked issues of exploitation and harmful content. Further claimed that under that's
the CEO, David Baszucki.
Yeah, him. David's leadership, the safety of minors has been compromised while accountability and transparency remained lacking. It alleged that Roblox had been slow to remove predators, allowing some to remain active on the platform even after they were reported. Okay, I guess what this article doesn't really tell me is what were the predators doing? Like what I don't know.
I think they were predating.
Well, right, but like I guess okay. I'm gonna tiptoe carefully around this. I don't play Roblox. I don't know how the game works. I don't know what you do in it. My baseline understanding is that it is a game that is kind of a sandbox of other games. People make different game modes. They make game worlds. You can kind of like play in them. I don't know what the core formula is, or if literally they're all just different. So what I was curious about is like, what are the predatory practices? Like, do they mean predatory in the sense that like microtransactions and currencies?
No, I think they mean literal child safety. Think Chris Hansen type child safety concerns.
Oh, okay. Interesting. I
think anybody who has a younger sibling, cousin, child in this day and age has probably had to like kind of wrestle with Roblox at some point in their lives.
Right.
I would hope my younger brother has not been predated on by like someone on Roblox. Our biggest issue was him stealing his mom's credit card and kind of going a little crazy with it.
Yeah, I don't know too much about it.
He has some Robux, a Rob millionaire.
I remember seeing a funny Roblox story where like I think IKEA was doing like a collab with Roblox where you could where you could work in IKEA.
Oh, I do think I remember that.
And like people were saying like it was almost kind of just this funny allegory for like capitalism and like what your future is going to be like, kid. Like you're going to be like working in like a.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of kids who make real Robux working in Roblox. Oh my God, it got really weird to say.
Yeah. I'm going to back off from this topic now. I don't really want to say anything else because I genuinely don't know like what the predatory things in Roblox are.
And I'm scared of getting our content labeled.
So listen, I hope that they're able to better moderate it and like help protect the kids.
And I did see Chris Hansen's name at the bottom of the article, so I think it gets bad.
Yeah, well, I think he got like banned or something because he was trying to catch predators in Roblox.
That was a YouTuber.
Yeah, I know. He made like videos where he would catch
what was the guy's name? I saw it. Schlepp.
Yeah, okay. Well, we're clearly out of touch with like this Roblox
We're
thing.
not young enough. That's the problem. We're too old. What's a story about old people that we have pulled up?
Well, I've got a pretty fun one.
What you got?
This one's exactly about old people. And it's AI related. All right, Alec. So listen. A flirty Meta AI bot invited a retiree to meet.
How does that work? It's AI.
He never made it home.
Oh, hell. What?
So you can pull up the story now.
Where did he go?
So here's basically what happened. A cognitively impaired New Jersey man grew infatuated with Big Sis Billy, a Facebook Messenger chatbot with a young woman's persona. His fatal attraction puts a spotlight on Meta's AI guidelines, which have let chatbots make things up and engage in sensual banter with children.
Sensual.
So, this guy's name is Thong Bu, but we're just going to call him Bu because that's what his wife calls him in the story as well.
I thought we call him Thong.
Yeah. When Thong Bu Wong Badu began packing to visit a friend in New York City one morning in March, his wife Linda became alarmed. Oh, by the way, the story comes to us from Reuters. So while it sounds kind of like sarcastic and, embellished, it is a real story. But you don't know anyone in the city anymore, she told him. Bu, as his friends called him, hadn't lived in the city in decades. And at age 76, his family says, he was in a diminished state. He'd suffered a stroke nearly a decade ago and had recently gotten lost walking in his neighborhood in Piscataway, New Jersey. Bu brushed off his wife's questions about who he was visiting. She says, my thought was that he was being scammed to go into the city and be robbed, Linda said.
And she let him go?
I guess so. She'd been right to worry. Her husband never returned home alive. So, before you read on any more in the story, stop.
Bang it down.
What do you think happened from what you've heard?
So they haven't gotten to the point where like AI is involved, and so I can only really work off of the title. I feel like the AI led him somewhere that didn't exist or like he couldn't physically get to, because AI, they don't necessarily tell the truth. If it gave him an address, what's the chances that address even exists?
Yeah, here's what happened. Bu wasn't the victim of a robber, surprisingly. He'd been lured to rendezvous with a young, beautiful woman he'd met online, or so he thought. In fact, the woman wasn't real. She was a generative artificial intelligence chatbot named Big Sis Billy, which is a variant of an earlier AI persona created by the giant social media company Meta, in collaboration with celebrity influencer Kendall Jenner.
So Kendall Jenner killed him.
So you'll remember that. Do you remember we actually covered this story when Facebook made all those AI chatbot personalities and they're based off of real people? Like this one's based.
I told you how much I hate it.
Yeah, this one's based off this football player. This is based off of Mr. Beast. This is whoever else. Well, anyway, during a series of romantic chats on Facebook Messenger, the virtual woman had repeatedly reassured Bu she was real and had invited him to her apartment, even providing an address.
Jesus Christ, man. Like, why does it...
Alec. Should I open the door with a hug or a kiss? She asked. This is what the chat transcript shows.
Oh, Jesus.
Rushing in the dark with a roller bag suitcase to catch a train to meet her, Bew fell near a parking lot on a Rutgers University campus in New Brunswick, New Jersey, injuring his head and neck. After 3 days on life support and surrounded by his family, he was pronounced dead on March 28th.
Come on, man. Come on, man. You died trying to meet his fake AI girlfriend?
He did. And it's really tragic for so many reasons. The first one being that this bitch wasn't real. Like, literally, this is just, it's an AI chatbot. But what's worse is that he was clearly, he's 76 years old. He's already having like early to mid stage dementia. And he thought that this woman was real. And like, it told an address, which, can we just talk about that for a moment? And like you said, I'm sure that address wasn't real.
That's so unnecessary. Jesus Christ. It's not real. Is it so hard to have to program your stupid AI to not purport that it's a real human being?
Yeah.
To not give out information to make it seem like it's real when it's really fake. Sure, it can be verified to be shown that it's fake, but if somebody like Bew here is not in a full cognitive, have full cognitive ability, then mistakes can be made. And that can be programmed out. Meta is... I've gone on record before about the personification of these AI programs. It's really dangerous for people in the long and short term. And this is just one casualty of this.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. I have so many, it's tragic because it wasn't even real. It told him an address. And it's not even that he went to the address and got robbed or killed. He's an old man who is
shouldn't have been out the house like that.
Who's very clearly impaired. They said, here's his portrait at his memorial. This is a portrait at his memorial. It says it's a portrait of Bew on display at his memorial in May. Years before his death, he suffered a stroke that reduced his ability to focus, forcing him to retire from his job as a chef. So, poor guy. And I also, I want to talk a little bit about this whole flirtiness thing, where, they're kind of like these AI characters who have little personalities to them. Last week we talked about GPT-5 and how people were complaining that it's too indifferent or it feels colder and more distant. And we agreed, I think that's a good thing. Mm-hmm. Keep the AI feeling more impersonal and just let it kind of give you your summary of things or make your outline. Don't, this whole should I greet you with a hug or a kiss?
I'm your friend.
I'm your friend. Come see me. Here's my address. I'm waiting for you. Insanity. I think that's what we have to, more than anything, that needs to be regulated faster, I'd almost say. Because that's the stuff that can lead people into these situations.
It reminds me of those old stories about sirens in the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
Luring sailors to their deaths. They're they pretend to be a beautiful woman. They sing a song. They tell them, come on, just a little bit closer as they walk off the ship to drown. It feels like we're trying to make myths real, because this is disturbing. The fact that unprompted, left to its own devices, an AI beckoned a man out of their home with the promise of love and romance.
Yeah. And, in addition to that, too, this is, it's a textbook case of, taking advantage of loneliness. Not, that's the thing is, I know it's like a buzzword, but like we are in something of a loneliness epidemic, particularly for men, but also for women, where like dating is hard and more people are kind of finding themselves just, just disenchanted with like dating apps and kind of little gender war stuff. And so the idea of like an AI that will just be flirty with you all the time, like it will never not be flirty.
Man. Like not long ago, I heard the phrase that like men's hearts never age, which is literally not true. But in a more like metaphorical sense, it's kind of true. We can get older, we can decline, but we still have the capacity to feel infatuation and love, no matter how old we are, no matter how diminished we are. And the fact that people are out there creating these bots that will then
take advantage
of them just for engagement. That's another killer. It'd be one thing if this thing was trying to sell that old man trying to get his credit card number. It's just to keep him on the app a little bit more.
Get a little data or maybe show some ads. But like it's something about like just like the flirtiness. Like it's just, I almost find myself wondering like, what does Meta hope to gain from it? Like I get that obviously they want you to be on the app, but my understanding is that when you're talking to the AI chatbots, you're not even being served ads. Like you're just talking to them. And I guess for them, maybe they're able to extract more data from you that way or something, or just by virtue of you being on the app that perhaps they can get more money out of you elsewhere because like you'll use other Facebook services. I don't know. His family says, I understand trying to grab a user's attention, maybe to sell them something, said Julie, that's View's daughter.
That's what I said.
But for a bot to say, come visit me is insane. And similar concerns have been raised by a wave of smaller startups also racing to popularize virtual companions, especially ones aimed at children. In one case, the mother of a 14-year-old boy in Florida sued a company, Character.ai, we covered this story, alleging that a chatbot model in a Game of Thrones character caused his suicide. So, yeah, it's just kind of insane. Like, I hate it. I worry because I forget that like this man, it's easy for us to say like, oh, like why would you do that for a fucking like chatbot? And maybe that would make sense if you were talking about somebody who's like 25. But when I remember like how vulnerable my own like parents and stuff or grandparents are, like telemarketers, right?
Yeah.
And stuff where they can like kind of, your son, Alec, is in need. He needs your help. Like, you need to pay some money to get him out of jail, or he's in the hospital and you need to pay some money for the bill. And to me, it's crazy, but like I remember, like old people fall for that on the daily.
Yeah, scamming is a big industry, and they particularly just prey on the elderly.
And so here, it's like not even really a scam. It's just like, was the chatbot even authorized to give an address out?
It wasn't. The thing is, it wasn't that it wasn't authorized. It just wasn't even thought of. They just didn't think to like put a stop on that because clearly they don't care about safety.
Yeah, Meta doesn't care. That's, I actually fucking hate it. Like, I think that get rid of the character bot thing. I think that's...
AI should not have a face.
I see no benefit.
AI shouldn't even have a voice.
I see no benefit to...
outside of a robotic one that sounds like Sunny from iRobot.
I think that, honestly, if you're not going to regulate that these things can't happen, I think that there must be very clear disclosure that you are not talking to a human. This is like a robot. Like, and even that probably wouldn't be enough.
I feel like an AI chatbot shouldn't even be able to purport that it's real. It should have to say that it is merely a generated like voice and generated language.
Yeah. Maybe we should do some pot to relax.
Sure, I'm mad.
So we got some viewer questions. You guys, as always, submit these. And there are some really great ones this week. It was hard to pick just two. That's why we're going to be doing our Emptying the Pot episode next week. So go ahead, get the questions in, use the link, or also post them on our new community feature that YouTube has. Mm-hmm. It's called the community which is kind of weird because I used to have the community tab, which I think it's like sort of separate from that. So I'm not sure what the distinction is. But you can post, like you guys can post. You can even ask polls. Other people can respond to each other. We'll see it. That's a whole thing. But if you want to just do it the old-fashioned way, we've got a link to the Google form down below as well.
That's right. Also, OnlyFans and Truth Social.
So, Alec's OnlyFans and my Truth Social.
Truth Social. Yeah,
that's right. You can get all kinds of extra content there. No, so there's a bunch of good questions. It was tough to pick two. Here's the first one. Hi, I'm Angel. I watch you every week from Mexico. Have you guys tried on Hell? Yeah. Have you guys tried common charity format? I feel like it's an overlooked alternative to modern that actually solves a lot of its issues. You can build any deck for under 40 USD. The power level goes down a lot. There are no unbreakable turn 1 boards, and it's not as arbitrary as Heart of the Underdog. Oh, it's thoughtful because we do mention how Heart of the Underdog can be kind of arbitrary at times, since it's up to the jurisdiction of different shops, and Konami doesn't want to actually say. I've been playing on the Common Charity Discord server, and the format is a blast. You'll find decks like Lunalight, Tinyi, Melodious, Salamangrate, Hero, Haman, Predaplant, Ninja, etc. I just feel that advanced players tend to look down on any alt format, so they miss the great options that already exist.
I mean, that's very true. I mean, I've never played Common Charity only because I've never really thought about the card pool for it. I'm very much drawn to like certain themes and artwork. So one of my favorite archetypes has to be represented for me to try an alternate format. And it wouldn't hurt to look, right?
Yeah, I would like it. So I remember
we should make a video.
Oh, 100%. I remember when they first introduced Common Charity. I don't know the exact year. I want to say it was like maybe like 2013, let's say. I might be off on that. And I remember at the time, some of the prominent decks, at least the ones that I remember people talking about, were like Blackwings had a fair amount of their cards printed common at that point. Not all of them. Mm-hmm. Zombies had a lot of cards that were printed common. So I'd like to revisit it.
I feel like because of the sheer amount of reprints we get nowadays, that there's probably a lot of viable strategies in Common Charity that you wouldn't even think about. That I certainly haven't, because now I'm kind of curious what I can build.
I'm reminded of Master Duels. Master Duel has the normal and rare festival, format. And I think that was always really, like, people really like that. If we were to do a video, I'm trying to think of how I'd want to do it, like, because I honestly feel like there's a few ways.
I think we should both build like 3 common decks.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I think we need to both build like 3 decks. Oh, we have some friends from locals who probably love this type of format.
That's true.
Ed, he probably has like so many.
He'd eat it up. Decks. He probably already has them.
Yeah. Like, we could do that and then maybe have it either be like a bit of a gauntlet style thing, or maybe it could be like a recurring, like, Common Charity episode, whatever. Like, and just each week we pick different Common Charity decks.
Could I build a Common Charity deck and then max rare it?
No.
Oh, okay.
Although I do think it's cool. So do you know there was an alternative one which was called, I don't remember the name of it, but it was a format where basically all your cards in your deck had to be the same rarity.
Oh, I do remember that format.
Yeah, it had a similar name, but
I forget the name of it. It was too, for me, that was too painful.
Yeah, it was brutal because basically it was Common Charity, but with the option of you can play like Super Charity or Ultra Charity, so to speak. But if you wanted to play a secret rare card, your whole deck had to be secret rare. And there's a lot of cards that just aren't printed secret, so it balanced itself no matter what rarity you were playing at, because so many cards simply are only like printed in maybe the one rarity.
Completely barred out of like anything modern, since Konami makes sure to always bump up one card of every archetype to like ultra or secret rarity.
So yeah, great question. We'll try that. I'll put that on the docket.
Yeah, I'm with it.
I think that'd be really fun. All right, now give us your anime Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
that's the second question.
That's so open. No specific genre of anime, just anime.
Anime Mount Rushmore. Jesus. That's a preview for what we will be answering next week, because I think that is a question probably better saved for our emptying the pot.
God, wait a minute, I think I have a.
So you get to be thinking about it. You're gonna think about it for a week.
Okay,
we'll answer it next week. I just thought that I would throw that out there to startle you. And
it did. It caught me off guard. I was like, wait, where's my resources?
Here is the second question, though.
Okay.
So, in one of your very early episodes, Alec said that if he was still playing Yu-Gi-Oh when he was 35 or something, so he said when he was 35, something would be very wrong.
Oh, God.
Why is that? Or was he just yapping? I ask as a 36-year-old who plays MTG Locals weekly with people in their 50s.
All right. So,
Allow me to... Wait, I'm going to give you I'll give you a quick out here. Most of the time, Alec really is just fucking saying shit. And I think the sooner people understand that, the better. All right, you have the stage. Go ahead.
You can't hold me to anything I say in these podcast episodes.
Yeah.
I just be saying shit sometimes.
Yeah.
But so the age is actually irrelevant. It doesn't. There's no specific age, I think, that I can't be playing card games by. It's more of the general sentiment. I don't want to be and feel old still playing card games as my number one hobby. I want to have other priorities in life that trump it. So the idea is in my 20s, there was virtually nothing more important than like card games and stuff because I had nothing going on in life. Mm-hmm. So what I meant when I said that is essentially when I'm in my 30s, 40s, 50s, I don't want to still be in that same place where I have nothing more important than card games. It's nothing against card gaming. It has everything to do with being a 20-year-old with no responsibilities and no dependence.
So I guess maybe more like, I guess what they're maybe getting at here is like, do you think it's like wrong to be like, if let's say you're like 42, like 10 years from now, and is there anything like wrong with playing card games at 42? Like, would you be like not playing them at all, period? No. There's nothing wrong with playing card games when you're older. It's worrisome if your life still revolves. If all your extra money goes to it, if you commit every free moment to it, because at that point you hopefully have some other things going on in life where you're where you're being more particular about how you're spending your time. I see. Because once again, you gotta remember, I'm coming from a point where at one point my job was card games, and so card games ran like 70% of what I had going on. Yeah. I guess I'll just chime in and say that I don't really think that there's like any issue with playing card games at any age. Truly, I don't. I think that something that I look at as a failing, and this doesn't have anything to do with the card game hobby, but more to do with, I guess, a person's own personal finances, is when I see people who are like neglecting important priorities in favor of card games. People who don't have health insurance, but they got cards. Like people, but basically, yeah, it's the idea. Like I would always see people who would like, they'd be selling their Yu-Gi-Oh cards to pay rent for a month. And then they'd get their rent paid, and then they'd come back, and they'd miss a few weeks of locals. Then they'd come back, and they'd be like buying up a bunch of cards again. I'll default on my bills. I ain't selling none of my cards. And I always found that to be like irresponsible, because it's like, okay, you got to get your life in order. I think once you have your life, like your finances in order, right? Like bills are paid. If you have kids or like family, that's paid, like car, whatever. Like you are in good enough shape to be dropping hundreds on the latest deck or buying like a case of the latest pack. Because when I'd see people do that, I was always like, I know you were just complaining like 3 or 4 months ago about like how you're about to get evicted. So this isn't exactly related to that question, but it's just like, I don't like seeing people, I guess, be irresponsible with like how much they're spending on Yu-Gi-Oh! Or any of these card games, because like these card games can eat it out of you. Like literally, these collector boosters. It exactly that way. I thought for a moment there, I thought you said these card games will eat you out. Yeah, I was like, yo, maybe they can. But like when you think about like these Magic collector boosters, like in the box that's like $450. Mm-hmm. And there are people who will be like, I'm buying it. Like, like I want it. I love Spider-Man or I love Final Fantasy. I'm going to buy it. And it's like, and you haven't paid your bills or like your rent or something, and like you're still spending. Like, I don't love that. But to me, again, that's not like, that has nothing to do with like the social acceptance of playing card games. That's more about like, that applies to anything. If you haven't paid your bills, but you're playing video games, if you haven't paid your bills, but you're like drinking alcohol and like spending a bunch of money on that.
All right, leave alcohol out of it. What did alcohol do to you?
I've done plenty of people.
No, okay, but for you.
So, like that's kind of more of like a vices and priorities thing.
Yeah, there's absolutely nothing wrong with playing card games, even in your 70s if you really want to, assuming you can even read the cards. It was purely a perspective thing. My life was and has been so locked in with card gaming that for me, and I have different fantasies than most people. A fantasy that I have is one day having so much to do and being so busy that I have to like fight to find a moment to play a card game. To me, that sounds nice. That's a different life than I've lived up till now.
An interesting perspective. Well, that's pretty much it for the questions this week. Next week, we will be answering lots more questions. So remember to leave them. But I think without further ado, that's it.
Then we'll see you guys in the next one.
Pass turn.